You're looking at number 7 on your study guide. Notice there are two fractions. If there are two fractions, you've got to pay careful attention to what is going on between them. And here you'll notice you're multiplying. If you are multiplying, you do not have to find common denominators. All you're going to look for is factors and see what you can cancel if it's possible. So looking at the first number right here, I'm just going to rewrite 10m plus 10. If I factor a 10 out of that binomial, I end up with m plus 1 over 8m squared plus 12m. I do know that 8 and 12 both share a 4 as a common factor, and they also each have at least one m. If I take 4m out, I end up with 2m in the first term plus 3. And remember, I took that m away from the 12m, and so plus 3 is the answer there, times, and I'm just going to go ahead and extend that line, 2m squared plus m minus 3. Remember that, and I'm just going to factor up here because I want it to be pretty over here. So I know that I'm looking for factors of -6 that will add to give me a positive 1. And if you think about it, -6, that 3 times -2, that will give you, multiplying to give you a -6, which is what you want, and it will add to give you a positive 1. So I know that what I want here is to rewrite that middle term as, so I'm going to rewrite, and let me just grab, I'm going to rewrite 2m squared, haven't done a thing with it yet. I'm going to rewrite minus 3, okay? And then I'm just going to write this as, and you can do it either way, but I'm going to rewrite it as minus 2m plus 3m. I'm going to erase the previous problem up here so that I have some space. Don't you wish erasing on your paper was this easy? Okay, so I've replaced it with this. So anytime I've replaced it, I've just marked through the one I just did. And I want to factor pairs here. So what is the greatest common factor of the first two terms? I'm seeing a 2m. And if you factor that out, you end up with an m minus 1. And then what's the greatest factor of the second set? It's going to be a positive 3. And if I factor from that, that's going to leave me with m minus, remember 3 you took out, so it's m minus 1. Now notice the whole reason I did that is because I wanted to get a factor that's a binomial, which I can then pull out. Okay, so if I factor m minus 1 from those two terms, what I'm left with is what's outside of those, which would be times 2m plus 3. So now I have, and you know how I do that, I'll mark it through if I've replaced it and move to the very last one, and that is m squared minus 1. M squared is m times m, 1 is 1 times 1, which means that is a sum and difference factor. Let me get the right color. That's going to be m plus 1 times m minus 1. Now is the slash and burn fun part because you get to factor. You're looking for any factor in the numerator that is the same as the factor in the denominator. So you will notice, I really like to do these, hold on, with, well, let's do it with this, with a highlighter. Okay, 2m plus 3 and 2m plus 3, those have canceled. Let's find a different color. Okay. M minus 1 and m minus 1. Those factor. Oh, this is going to just do some nice stuff for you. Then I'll grab a purple. M plus 1 and m plus 1 factor. Oh, all of those just went away so nice and pretty, which means you only have 10 over 4m. Keep in mind, and I'm going to tell you that I know some of you can do this in your head, but it is extremely helpful to just list the factors. 10 is 5 times 2, correct? Both 5 and 2 are prime, so that is broken down into its very smallest components. 4m is 2 times 2 times m. Now if you do the same exact thing, but look for constants. A 2 cancels with a 2. Now you know for a fact, because you stripped it down to its very tiniest parts, and cancel the parts that you could, that everything left is prime, and therefore this is simplified. So 5 over 2m is your solution.